What's up everyone, it's Tony here and welcome back to Yacht Addiction. Today we're going to be touring this brand new FJORD 41XL. Now this yacht was built in Germany and overall the length is 41 feet, it has a beam of 13 feet and 1 inch, and it has a draft of 3 feet and 10 inches. Now this yacht is presented by Yacht Sales International, so thank you to them for granting me access on board. Guys, this yacht is truly the ultimate party yacht. There are so many great features on board, but beyond just a party boat, it's also a fantastic super yacht tender. It would be great for a weekender as well. There are just so many great features on board, and I think you're really gonna enjoy this one. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Before we even talk about this massive swim platform, you have such a popping color combination on this one. The way it's tied up right now, I can't get a full profile shot, but I'll throw a picture on the screen. You can see this beautiful blue paint job, and there's accents of red down by the waterline. One of the first things I noticed about this yacht, when compared to others in its class, it has the largest T-top I've ever seen on a yacht like this, but we'll see more of that as we get on board. All right, let's go back to this huge swim platform. You can see there are some hatches built in, and that's where you house your swim ladder. And you can also house a jet ski or tender on the swim platform. And you'll see you also have the integrated stairs, so when this is lowered into the water, you can walk right up into the back of the yacht. But one thing I also like is besides just the swim platform, you also have this strip right here, which is fixed. So even when the platform's lowered into the water, or if you're using it as like a wet bar situation, either way you have this platform here, so you can stand off the back of the seating area. Speaking of which, this is one of the coolest features on this yacht. You have so many different customizable options with how your seating is arranged. Guys, if there's a little bit of wind noise, I apologize for that. I'll try to keep my back towards the wind, but it is a very windy day here in Annapolis. But with the seating, as mentioned, many different combinations, but I think this is one of the coolest options you can choose from. And let me show you why. First, obviously facing aft, you have this bench seating area. But as you can imagine, I'm sure you can see these hinges here. These can be flipped to face forward. So when you're flying down at your top speeds, all your guests can be facing forward in a very secure setting. And you can set up the seating to wrap around this table. And you actually have 2 different dining tables. And all of these sections are customizable, and they also all have storage underneath the seating. So of course, these can be adjusted. Let's step on board. You'll see there's a boarding gate here. Your controls for the swim platform, there's also a remote for this. And there's a gate on the other side as well. All right, let's step up here. You'll see the larger table right here. This, of course, is adjustable. So you can create the seating to wrap around the table. Same thing on this side. You see it right now. I have it set up to where the seating is wrapped around. But these can also be adjusted, so you have bench seating facing forward. So you'll have multiple rows of the seating all facing forward. And guys, when you have the seating wrapped around, you can fit so many guests on board. It's crazy for a yacht of this size. But as mentioned, it's a fantastic party boat or day boat, and it just makes sense. And you'll notice a huge hatch right here. This will grant you access to some of the working spaces in the engine room, but the main entrance is this hatch underneath here. But we'll go down there later on in the tour. Another really cool customizable feature about this area, these tables can be lowered. So both of these can be lowered. You can throw info cushions on top, and then you have a massive, truly massive area of just sun pads, so everyone can lay out and enjoy a beautiful day like today. Now, like I said, there's a bunch of different options. This is probably one of my favorite, but another option is a little more traditional setup where you have a sun pad back here that's more in a fixed configuration. Then you have the bench, a table, and some more seating, but it's just the single table. You can also opt to have this seating back here, or the one I just mentioned, and then forward, you can have this area be cleared with removable deck furniture. So, and that's just, I mentioned 3 different ways, but truly, whatever you want to do, customizable wise, they will do it. And then I did mention that this has storage underneath. So let me just show you one of those. You can just flip this up and you'll see the storage underneath. All right, so continuing forward. Actually, I almost forgot. Last thing to talk about here, and then I promise we'll move forward. You also have a powered bimini that extends out overhead. Of course, we have the sign in the way right now, but you can kind of see it up here. So this can extend out and give you some relief from the sun in this area if you want it. All right, now we'll move forward. But while we're looking up, take a look at this huge T-top I was talking about. You have multiple glass panels, 4 in total. So you have a lovely covered area in this section. And then you also have 2 refrigerators underneath this forward section of seating, 1 on each side. Just in case you don't believe me, here is the second. You also have a JL audio system on this yacht. It is upgraded, so you can see one of the controls for that there. And then if we look a little forward, you'll see the speakers, and you have those littered throughout the sides of this one. Also, Fjord wanted to make a very sexy, very sleek yacht. So part of the really sleek design, you have these 3 fenders right here, and these are rectangle shaped, and they fit perfectly right in the storage section. And you have the same thing, once again, on the other side. I love the pop-up cleats that are on this one. And you also have those little details I like, with the little strip of stainless steel to protect the side of your yacht. So here we have a little control panel for switches, and this is for your bimini. You have a bunch of different lighting options. So you have red, white, and blue lights on the outside of the yacht. You also have underwater lights. There's T-top ambient lighting. There's a whole bunch of different things you can control here. And also this particular model doesn't have it, but if you wanted to upgrade and choose, this stainless steel rail, which you see right here and heading all the way back, this isn't completely round. It's hard to describe. Underneath, there's a really small channel, so you can upgrade to have LED lights that are colored into here. So if you really want to light this up and not just have underwater lights, if you want the lights up here too, you can have those installed. Also, I didn't mention it, but it deserves to be mentioned. There is a hot and cold shower tucked away right here. Hopefully you're not too overwhelmed. I know there's so much going on this one. Here, forward of all this seating is the galley area. So you have a grill right here, and there is an insert, of course, for the grill that's not currently on, but it will be added for the sail. We have storage underneath here. And then on this side, we have a large prep space, as well as a sink, and then additional storage underneath. We'll give you one last shot of this area, and then we're going to step up to the helm station. As you can see from the back, we have 3 different Fjord seats, and I think there's an option to have a second helm chair right here. But these are all lift bolster seats. What I mean by that is you can stand up and just lean against this as you're driving your yacht, or you can push that forward, and then of course you can sit down while you're at the helm station. Speaking of the helm station, you have an all-glass cockpit, so that's really nice. It's enclosed right here. We have the 2 Simrad multifunction displays. So that's very streamlined. I really like that. We have the Volvo joystick, your throttle controls, some of your switches for the lights and your anchor release, and then of course the steering wheel. You also have your VHF radio tucked away right under here. Now, before we head inside, because this yacht does have accommodation, it actually has 2 different cabins, I did want to point out this massive, curved, single-piece windshield So that's a great feature there. And then, as mentioned in the intro, this could be used as a super yacht tender, or if you're docked in just a weird spot, this is a lovely touch. We have these 2 steps. So if you need to climb out over the side, you could easily do so. And you have these steps on each side of the boat. Now we're going to head up to the bow before we go down below. Let's just take in this profile. You have, of course, a sun pad in the middle with the built-in cup holders. And then these flip up if you want. Underneath here is where the owner's suite is. So if you want the hatches to get that natural light, you could move these sections out of the way. And there's also a window right here. There's another control for the JL audio system. And then here you can see your anchor chain, and you could store some additional fenders in here in addition to those rectangle fenders that you have stored that we showed you earlier. If you're enjoying this yacht tour so far, make sure to leave a like on the video. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. We post a new yacht tour every single week. Now, we're gonna head downstairs. And first thing to point out, as mentioned already, we have lots of different customizable options, and this is one of those areas that can also be customized. Before we get into the owner suite, here you have your 2 main drawer refrigerators. But this is an area that can be fully customized. You can go with the refrigeration, you can go with a bench seating area, you could even do a mini office if you wanted to, or you could opt for a more complete galley to where you have your refrigerators as well as a small cooktop. So obviously that changes the price, but it really comes down to whatever your personal preferences are and how you're going to use the yacht. So that's one area there. Another thing is, see these colors here on the wall? We have this gold color, and then this will be more prevalent when we step in here. Here is the owner suite, and this door slides across. So on a yacht like this, that's really nice that they actually can close off this room. That's not always the case. But back to that gold color I was talking about, you'll see that here. Fjord has 5 different themes, and if you want to know all of them, I'm going to link their website below. Maybe you can get a little more insight. I know this one, the sort of black dark color and the gold, this is the sport theme, but there's also, I know, a blue and gray color combo. Basically, there's 5 different color combinations that you can choose from when you're ordering new. But you'll see the bed in the middle, your windows on each side, little spots for your cell phone to sit, and then some windows at head level as well. And you do have full standing headroom in here, of course. And then this is where we saw that sun pad. But if you need to escape out of this hatch, you could do so. But right now, of course, it's covered by the sun pad. But if you want the extra natural light, you can get it there. And then you have storage over on this side and additional storage if we turn around right over here. And these are kind of cool. I've never seen little pull tabs like this before, but you have a strip of leather, and that's how you actually actuate the handle. And here is a little closet. And now if we turn around, we'll find the second room. So you do have to crouch down in here, but you have a huge, this is at least a queen size, so 2 adults, possibly 3 could easily sleep here. You have the windows on the far side. You have some reading lights. And then over here, we have a little settee. And then this area is almost where it's designed as like a dressing area. So guys, I am 5'10", and I can fully stand up in this area. If you're 5'11", you could probably get away with it. 6 feet or taller, I'm sorry, but you have to crouch down just a teeny bit. But it gives you space to actually stand up and get dressed, and you have the windows for the natural light as well. And then here are all of the closets and storage areas for this room. Then of course, these will share the single head on board, which is over here. So through this door, you'll find your sink, toilet. I like how they still kept the gold color scheme going on in here. They have teak on the floor. And then this is a full standing separate shower stall. And it features a rainfall shower, and this square right here can be illuminated. So they really elevated the single head on this one. And of course you have the wand as well. So those are all of the interior areas, which obviously it's not a ton, but I almost forgot, you do have the storage underneath the bed as well. So for a yacht of this size and the style of this type of yacht, I think they did a really good job with the interior here. Let me know in the comment section how you would set up this area. If you would go with the refrigerators, if you try to have more storage here, or just a bench area, let me know what you would do. But either way, you have a bunch of different options. So that's always appreciated in at least from my perspective. I think it makes sense to give consumers as many options as possible and give people exactly what they want when they're buying a yacht like this. Because otherwise, if you're not completely happy, what's the point? So we're back up on this main deck. And now we're going to check out those engines I was talking about. Let's come down over here and get this hatch opened up. It's nice that even with both tables here, you can access this engine room, and flipping this over will make it a little bit easier, but make sure you watch your head. All right, give me one sec. All right, so now that we're down in here, you'll see that this yacht comes with a pair of Volvo Penta D6 440s. Let me tell you a little bit about these engines. These are 440 horsepower each. Your top speed is around 35 knots, so you can cruise pretty quick on this one. You can cruise comfortably at 30 knots, so it really can push it at its full performance. And your range, this is just an estimate, my own personal estimate. I'd say 250 nautical miles when you're pushing it at 30 knots. Maybe 300, but you know, in that 250 to 300 range, that's normally what you would expect on a yacht like this. And that really just comes down to the size of the fuel tanks. This also has a stabilization system. Now, getting out of here, this handle is actually really helpful. Whew, all right, we made it out. Let's close this up behind us. And of course, set this table back as we found it. All right, everyone, that is it for this Fjord 41 XL. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. I really want to hear your thoughts. I am a big fan of this yacht. I think Fjord is really going to shake things up in this category. I appreciate you watching. Thank you, of course, to Yacht Sales International for granting me access on board to do the tour. We will catch you next time.